What is going on, guys? Poketism here, back with another Pokemon Market Update video. If you like the content, consider dropping a like, maybe even a comment saying SpaghettiOs, and a subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And for our based and beta comment of the day, we have Shrugs23 commenting, "On my grandmother's Tims, the black and white set will have their moment in the future. Mark my tism." Oh boy, Shrugs. Could I not agree with you more? And we are definitely going to talk about that here in a few moments. Thanks for that comment. And then beta comment of the day is going to go to Anime Academy 6925, who says, "I am the next beta comment of the day." You are absolutely correct. Thank you so much for commenting, guys, and make sure you leave your based and beta comments down below. Now let's jump into it here. So the topic of this video is going to be basically me stating that prismatic prices and product are starting to get a little too hot for me. So over the time, over the past couple of months, I've been allocating to my prismatic position every week or so, picking up a product here or there, wherever I could get it, or online or in store, so on and so forth. Now, prismatic prices are approaching that $75 to $80 a booster bundle, which is ideally not where I want to be. There's too much downside risk the higher we go without any sort of long consolidation. So with that in mind, I've been thinking, where else do I want to be allocating some funds to and expand on other positions while I let the prismatic one kind of fester? And the first set would be Black Bolt. If you've watched a few of my videos by this point, you know that I'm a big fan of this set. Over the last 6 months, basically around when this set came out, minus the crazy pre-sale prices, we have grown a modest 12%. I believe that this booster bundle is very overlooked, and at the same time, we probably aren't going to see too many more reprints of this in the future. There may be a couple drops here and there, but there's a lot of other sets out there that are still in rotation that are taking up the spotlight right now. Prismatic Evolutions, Ascended Heroes, and those products are all demanding premiums. So while those products are getting a lot of attention, it's important that we pay attention to these sets because before we know it, these things will start growing over time as well. Now, we have had a little bit of volume decrease here over the past couple of weeks, and we're looking at around $63 a bundle. Probably can get it less than that. Let's see, 55, 60, 55, 69.99. I don't know who did that. And then $58. So I honestly think that this under $60 is a great deal. So keep your eyes open out there for it, and we'll move on to the next product here. So we have the Black Bolt Elite Trainer Box. Now, as of recently, this one has really started to take off. So I went to a card show this past weekend, and I traded in some of my old sealed, some Sword and Shield boxes, sold them off to the vendors, collected my profits, and I rolled those profits over into Black Bolt Elite Trainer Boxes. And so with Black Bolt Elite Trainer Boxes, they were sitting around $90 to $100 for a bit back in February, about 80 to 109. And right now, the volume is pretty consistent. It's nothing too crazy, signaling a lot more volume going up or down. But the price is creeping up here, and we're sitting at about $110 a box. We have sales at 112, 105, 108, 110, 112. So, at this card show I was at this past weekend, I was able to get 2 for $90 each. So, I think a lot of people have not realized that this box has really been climbing up. And, I think it's finally getting appreciated. And the fact that this is cheaper than Ascended Heroes right now, I think that this is one of the best plays that we can do in the short term here. And then moving over to White Flare. So White Flare is also a great set. It doesn't have the Seismitoad in it, So that does make it not as desirable as the Black Bolt box. However, same sort of deal here. We're looking under $60 a booster bundle, and there's still about, the set value is still around 2.5K for the white flare portion. Um, so it still has a very high set value, and I believe that these booster bundles are underpriced. Uh, we've got $55.99 with $2 shipping, $53 with $5 shipping, $59 shipping included, $59 shipping included. I think this is a great pickup under $60 all day, every day. And then with the Elite Trainer box of White Flare, we have been having a run up, but we are roughly sitting around that $90 mark, anywhere from $90 to $100. So 99, 100, 95, 91, 99. So I think that this box under $100, the downside risk is very minimal, and the upside potential over time could definitely be pretty good. So we'll just have to see with White Flare. I am more of a believer here in the Black Bolt, just because the top chases, there's a lot of top chases that are highly desired in Black Bolt versus White Flare. It's like there's 3 big chases versus Black Bolt's like 5 or 6. But I'm just talking about general demand. Everybody, obviously likes different things, right? So Destined Rivals here. I did want to talk about Destined Rivals because it did run up to almost $600 a box. One definitely sold for $600 on here, and then we started cooling off over the past month or so. Got down to $500 a box, and right there the volume started to tick upwards. People thought $500 was a fair entry for the box, and then we just keep going up. So, I mean, Pokemon Company really has to reprint this set, right? Like it's clear that everybody really likes Destined Rivals, so you would think they would print it, but I think people are afraid that they aren't, and so they're just buying when they can. I am personally not a buyer for Destined Rivals at these prices. I think your money can be allocated a lot better for higher ROI over time. Now, this is a very bullish signal here because this looks like almost like a cup and handle of sorts. But we'll have to see if this takes off. I'm not too sure. But yeah, instead of allocating money towards Destined Rivals booster box, I would allocate it towards the booster bundles. Now, I believe that if you can find these $65 or below, that's a pretty solid entry point. We were sitting between $50 and $60 for quite some time, and this is the same sort of deal as Prismatic. I was just accumulating whenever I could, and now even at these prices that we're rising up to, I still think that it's good to allocate towards this set, because I feel like Destined Rivals is very similar to 151 in the sense that it taps into that childhood nostalgia for those of us who grew up with Gen 1 and Team Rocket and such, which is a shame that they didn't have Jesse and James in this set. That would have made it just super exciting. But yeah, I think that this is a good grab. If I can find any more under $60, I'm going to try to pick up some more. But on to the next one here. So this is more or less our Ascended Heroes check-in, right? I don't think that you should be buying in at these prices of $400, $350 to $400 a Pokemon Center ETB. It's way too early in the print cycle. I highly expect them to have another drop at some point. And when they do, the prices will dip a bit. They may not be super affected, but hey, if you can get it down to like $250 a Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box, I think we have seen how high this box can go. So let's see a correction down to like $250, and then I'm comfortable getting in because then I know my downside risk is quite minimal. So yeah, the lowest listed is $379 with $5 shipping. So not paying these prices, money can be allocated a lot better. And we're still trending upwards here. Volume decreasing over time on the Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer box. So people aren't really wanting to pay over $25, $130 or $125 to $130 on these boxes. So we're looking at sales at 124, 125, 125, 125, 118, 118. And I am going to join the negative buy volume here because I don't want to be paying $125 for these boxes. This set is way too hyped right now, and that's giving us opportunities elsewhere in the market to position ourselves for better returns rather than downside risk. So, there may be people who agree, there may be people who disagree, but I believe that this is definitely going to be correcting at some point. We're just too early in the print cycle, and I'm sure that this set is going to be pumped into the market. Now, Phantasmal Flames, I also think has been a little bit slept on. Slow and steady growth. We were at around $76 in ETB. I don't know why I didn't think about picking up more back then, but here we are now. So over the past few weeks, let's see how much growth. About 13% over the past month. Went from $89 up to looks like sales over 100 now. So 96.99, 102.50, 103.93, 103.97, 102.49. So we have a $100 ETB for Phantasmal Flames. I do think that this is still a solid pickup. If you can get it under $100, I think that's awesome. And we'll move on here to the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box. Now, this one kind of came out of left field for me. I was not expecting this crazy run-up that happened, but this was sitting around $200 a box, and then whoom, we shot all the way up here to around $300. Now, granted, the volume is not very high, but it's still crazy to see this be a $300 box. And over the past couple of days, they have sold at 300, which is just crazy. And another good box, I think that's worth buying under $55, $60 is the Phantasmal Flames Booster Bundle. So kind of flat volume across the board, nothing too crazy, just price appreciating over the past 3 months. It has gone up 24%. These were anywhere from $43 to $45. GameStop was selling these for $45, at their stores for the time that they had them. And now the product is drying up, and therefore the price is rising up. But have no fear, we still have plenty of time in the print cycle for Phantasmal Flames. So as more booster bundles will be pushed into the market, along with other products, we'll see these lows retested again, and then those are your opportunities on the way down to maybe dollar cost average in, or even dollar cost average in as we go up. Either way, picking up these products that we talked about today, other than Ascended Heroes, I think are great for the current climate of the market right now. So things obviously can change day by day, which is why I think it's important to record as much as possible to talk about the market. So I'll be trying to upload on a daily basis. But thank you guys for listening to my TISM rant, and we will see you guys in the next one. Oh, yo.